Oh, I don't have much time. I really must be quick on this one. Hello, I'm Domina Delapai, Mistress Sasha Storm, and this has prompted me to respond. It says, man says, don't go on dates if you're not ready to have sex. He says, melanated minds. The melanated minds these days are full of doo-doo. He says, women expect men to take them out. I think that's a woman speaking. Women expect men to take them out on dates and pay, but don't expect us to want sex. I'm saying, I can't tell these guys from girls these days, males and females, not men and women, males and females are pretty much the same, and there are many of them around. So women expect men to take them out on dates and pay, but don't expect us to want sex. I'm saying stop going out on dates with men if you not ready or don't intend on having sex. I know the free meal and feeling and looking good is fun, but no man likes to be misled, and we all want to be fucked on. So stop playing. So it says stop going on dates if you're not ready to have sex. Y'all keep writing you don't realize that your is you are. It's okay. It's YOU with this is it called apostrophe at the top there? I don't know. But YOU with the apostrophe RE. That's your. But y'all keep doing it YOUR, and that really always trips me up because I don't know, things that are wrong really just rub me the wrong way. So anyway, he's a low life. Okay, that's what he's demonstrating. Because once upon a time, many moons ago, a Caucasian man, a French Canadian man, he is an art dealer. He had sold some art and made a damn good commission. And he was so pleased that he wanted to celebrate, making that a lot of money. And he had, there was at the time a restaurant. Susar Lee is a Chinese chef in Toronto, renowned. And he had just created what he called a tasting menu that had so many courses. I lost count of how many courses we would serve that night. But the man invited me to go to dinner with him. And I tried to, I declined. I was not interested. And he was, please, come on. And I kept saying, no, I'm not interested. And I know Susar Lee, and I love Susar, and I would love to go to, enjoy his food. And so he said, listen, man, I made the reservations for me and my wife, okay? But because of the ice storm in Quebec, my wife is not able to travel in this weather, and I've already made the reservations, and it is really difficult to secure a table at that restaurant. I don't want to lose, if I want to go back, I don't want to have a strike against my name. I want to be able to go and enjoy dining in this restaurant. So please, I want you to come with me. Mind you, he didn't ask the worker who introduced me to him, who was university educated, librarian, white woman, dyke, lesbian. She is the one who introduced me, and she was pissed off that he invited me and not her, because, well, as according to her, she knows about art and I don't, and what are we going to talk about? Well, this is a longer story than it needs to be. So it's a long story, but I'm going to shorten it just to make a point to the black males who keep endlessly spewing shit from their mouths about dating and paying and sex. If you come on a date with me, you got to suck my dick, you got to take my penis. It's like, no, how about I just don't even bother with you in the first place? Because I can go out with men of means, okay? And they're not expecting sex from me. If they are, they don't have the balls, they don't have the nerve to say it. Because I'm not there for that. It's my companionship, and I'm valuing myself enough to know that I don't have to drop my panties to go on a date with anyone. Then I stopped dating because there are too many of you. It's trashy. It's trashy the way you're being raised, and your mentality. Your black mothers and fathers are not teaching you, because they are too out there trying to make money so you can put those labels on your body that make you feel that you are of some value, but you're not. You cannot value the woman. You are of no value yourself. So this man, he paid. I remember the at the end of the night, the bill was like close to $600, okay? That was about what I was paying for the rent on my room. I was renting a room, sharing dwellings with others. And this dinner came to, it was more than my rent. I felt elevated, elated. I was joyful. I was happy. I was like, wow, this man, to value me this much, that he took me out. His wife wasn't able to make it, and he asked me to go with him, right? Mind you, the white woman who called herself a lesbian, she was a whore. She was literally a whore. Yes, she was turning tricks. But she says she's a lesbian and the clients are all men. So I don't know how you having sex with men for money and you're a lesbian. None of the queer community answers that to this day, right? They say don't slut shame, but it's okay. Lesbians are not supposed to be having sex with men except when they're being paid. So that was when I lost a friendship with that so-called friend of mine, because she... someone's coming and I don't want them hearing me. All right, I've come outside because she's nosy. She likes to spy and eavesdrop. I don't like this sort of presence around me, because when people do their things, I don't mind other people's business. I'm very, they call me self-absorbed, because I don't mind other people's business. I mind my own. So this was the tasting menu. It was about, sampling different recipes of the chef. The chef came personally to greet us at the table. That was really wonderful for the chef to come and ask, how is your meal, and so on and so forth. When he asked that, I thought to myself, Susan, he's good. But all what I'm eating reminds me of my granny's cooking. My granny was a very good chef. It's in my family, it seems as though we all have that cooking ability. We are all really good at cooking. We are very much food-based in the family. And so I was appreciating, and this is what the man knew who invited me, because when we spoke, and how did I meet this man? So my friend, the lesbian, she worked at his art galleries. He has two. And because she studied art history, she was a librarian and blah, 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 qualified and do. So I said to her, I'm doing this radio show and a few other things. I'm not really making money. I need to make some money on the side. So, can you hook me up if you know of any friends or anybody in the community who has some kind of little, I said, I will clean. I will clean, I will do a clean office or apartment or whatever, house. I will clean. I will offer catering services. I will cook. So I told her the things I could do, the skills I had, and she could hook me up. So she says, oh, okay. She called me less than a week later. She says, my boss, he is an art dealer. He has 2 art galleries, and he has like a condo in that area, that posh, high-priced area of the city. He's renting a 2-bedroom condo, and he lives with a guy who is also working at the gallery, and they share this condo. But this guy's home is in Quebec. He is a French Canadian. His family lives in Quebec. He's doing the business here in Toronto, which I think is very strange. How your wife is in another freaking place and you are there. They say y'all are too much. You're doing too much. So apparently, according to her, well, anyway, she hooked us up. So he came to pick me up. I was doing the radio show, and it was at the end of my program. He came to the University of Toronto where I was doing the radio program and picked me up and drove me to his place so he could show me what I would be doing, where I would be doing it. And it was his 2-bedroom condo. And I was like, I have to clean here? This is where I have to clean? He says, yes. I don't remember the name of the other guy. He says, we live here and, we just need somebody to just maintain. And I said, well, y'all look like you're doing a pretty good job of maintaining it. This place is spotless. Not a dish in the sink, on the countertop. The bathrooms were clean. I didn't see even a hair on the floor. It's like, that was weird, because I was supposed to be doing cleaning, and the place was clean. So I thought, wow, see, this is how my life, I'm blessed. That's what I say. I say, be more, not be less. not be less, not bless. Be more. I'm be more. I'm always being be more. And that's how people get envious of me. So it seemed as though this guy really just wanted my presence around the place. He liked to chat with me because we were speaking at length on the drive when he's driving me to his place. And he liked me. But he did not show, which I appreciated, he did not come on to me sexually. According to the so-called friend who connected us, she said he is into Chinese girls who can hardly speak English. They just arrived from China, they can't speak English, and he pounces on them, and she's like, and he takes them to art auctions. He goes, can you imagine? He takes these girls, they can barely speak a word of English, and they don't know anything about art, and he takes them to art auctions. And she said she's talking down about these Chinese girls, like, ew, how can he even find anything, of value in them, that he would take them to art auctions? Well, one of the ways they can learn from being at the art auctions, they can learn a different way of life. To me, that's beneficial to the girls, whomever. She was jealous. This white woman was jealous of the Chinese girls that her boss was taking out. But she's supposed to be a lesbian, and guess what? Her lesbian lover is Chinese. Is a Chinese. These people are sick. So she is upset that the boss is, dating young Chinese girls and taking them to places that they would have never dreamed of being taken, and spending loads of money on them. And then because I guess he didn't want to go with a Chinese girl. He wanted to go with me. Once he got to know me, these Chinese girls were put on the side, and he wanted to. But it wasn't a date. It was a date because it was a reservation that had already been made, and the wife could not make it. So I was there standing in, and so it was not romantic like that. I didn't make it romantic because I know the man is married. I'm not going to be romantic and romancing and sensual with a married man. I'm not that type of person. So anyway, I was so happy. I said, wow, this guy spent so much money on me. We had a bottle of wine, and then he said, should we get another bottle? I said, no, let's just get a half bottle. Because, again, I don't want to be getting drunk and, with this man. And what he had done is he'd taken a taxi. I met him there. I took a cab to the restaurant. I don't remember how I got there. I think I took a cab. But on the way home, he got a cab. And he dropped me off at my place and continued to his place by taxi. Because he knows he's drinking, he's not driving, and he can afford. And so I felt honored. I felt valued. I felt good. I felt good and positive about myself. I was happy. So I called my friend, so-called friend, the next day to tell her, wow, so-and-so took me to supper last night at Susa Lee's restaurant. And wow, it was really amazing. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed everything. The experience, is special. And she's like, oh, well, Kat and I, her girlfriend, Kat and I, we were there last week. It was less than a week ago, actually, like 3 days ago. We had supper there. We spent $350. Good Lord. I didn't ask you how much you spent. But, he spent like easily almost twice as much as that on our supper. She wasn't happy about that. And she started to say, you know what she said to me? Well, you're just a trick. Lord of mercy. Wait a minute. How are you going to flip the script on me? You're the prostitute. You're the lesbian who is actually a prostitute, as many lesbians are. Don't let me out your asses, okay? Because you're the one turning tricks. You're the one calling me and saying, oh, you drove out of town to turn tricks in this hotel with this man, and you're so tired. You're gonna sleep. You're gonna sleep in the room with him because I said, why would you do that? Why would you sleep with a John or a client? Why would you sleep in a hotel room with a client? What happens if you fall asleep and he murders you? Like, this is how my mind operates. But no, they're just thinking of the money. These girls get wet pussies because of money. This is the type of, they're different. We're not all the same. Don't lump us all in the same group. Women. No, we're not all the same. The white girl, the black girl, and there are black girls who are like white girls, but I'm just a cut above. I am different, and don't you dare deny me that. Okay? So she said, "You're just a trick." How could I be a trick when I went and enjoyed supper? I was taken home, dropped off in a taxi. Not a peck on the cheek even, you know? I thanked him. Thank you so much. And that was it. And he'd given me a key to the place. Imagine. They have art in the condo. They have things of value. And he trusted me to come there and not rob them. So, you know, this is how I value myself. That I have integrity, that I'm not a thief. I'm not going to try to swindle you, or rob you, or trick you, or scam you. None of that, okay? And for her to say that I'm a trick when she is an actual working prostitute, she's a whore. She was literally a whore. And she tried to put the people, you see how people project, learn about projection. When people talk to you, talk a lot of shit. They're talking about themselves, but they're pointing at you. Like they're talking about you. But you know who you are. You know you're not a whore, and she is a whore. So here is I'm a librarian. I studied art history, and I know this. And she's read all these books and done this and that. And the man didn't want to the man didn't want to take her out. And she was pissed. So she called me a trick because he took me out and spent twice as much as they spent on their supper. And they had to pay because, you know, it was her and her girlfriend. They live together. They have all these bills and stuff. Shit. So yeah, I value myself, and so that's why I don't want to deal with these black males. You know, I have a brother. My brother likes to take women out on dates, and my brother takes them to places where they can have some fine dining. My brother is not like these other black guys. You know, he's not. But you have to be mindful. He is not. He's non-committal. He won't commit to you. You will never be his girlfriend. You'll be his girlfriend for like maybe a month, if even that. He's in and out. He's just there for a good time. So you girls, you know, when a guy spends money on you, oftentimes just know that it's, you know, it's gonna be in and out, because they are going through they're exercising their options. These guys are narcissists, many of them, right? And they just want to run through women. You know, like women are like playing cards. Which one do you have today? And this one. Okay, and then tomorrow we'll try that one. There's no substance to them. And so they don't maintain relationships. They're just in situationships, ships passing through the night. I'm not that person. I'd rather be alone in the garden, gardening. It would be great if I could have a like-minded companion, preferably a man who is into gardening as much as I am, who is into learning about growing food and eating the fruits of your labor, literally. That's what I'm into. And I don't understand how a lesbian, so-called, you know, these lesbians are they're liars. This bitch was married. She was married to a man. You know what they do? A lot of these women are married to men just to get to get, how you say, a settlement, divorce settlement. So they're married to a man. They don't even like men. Your name is Miss Anthrope, but you're a man hater, but you were married to a man, right? Did you become a man hater after or during the marriage? Like, it's weird, right? So, because she's a lesbian, right? But a lot of these lesbians, you see how they have money? Because they were married to men. And the divorce settlement, they got a house or half a house, or they got this and that. And then they bust out into the queer community. I'm a lesbian. But that's how they can turn tricks, because they're not real lesbians. I just killed you. Yes, I just killed a big fat mosquito. I mean, I like them. They like to suck me, bite me. That was a big bitch. I just got whack. I taught the children to kill bugs. Oh my God. The little kids, they're hardly here now because my brother, I don't know what shit he's on. Him and a baby mama. But it's okay. We love the kids, but we seldom see them. When the children came here last summer before, we had a lot of bugs, and I had made this spray with peppermint and neem oil and such. And we would sit in the grass just shooting our streams of herbicide, trying to, there's a cricket, a grasshopper, a mosquito, a fly, a this, a that, beetles. Auntie Adela, what's that? What's that, Auntie Adela? I wanted to teach the children about gardening and growing food and picking the pine. Come, you can pick the way last time I said, pick for me the tomatoes, pick the ripe tomatoes. They love it. They love helping. The little boy wanted to help me water the plants. He wasn't watering the plants, he was watering other than the plant, but it was just, he was having joy. And I was happy to see him joyfully trying to assist me. And it's like the father can see that. And the father makes sure that the children don't come back. They don't come back. That is narcissism, When some black people, not just black people, some people, they just will suck the joy out of life of others. They think only they must have joy. They must have fun and nobody else. So I don't get to see the children. And maybe that's a punishment for me being truthful about their parents, because I find both parents are a fail as far as I'm concerned, because the children are obese and both mother and daddy are obese because all they do is eat, party, drink, liquor, alcohol, and a lot of white flour, white sugar, all the bad things. That's what they're taking into their bodies, and he tried to bring it here, and it's like I'm fighting the devil every freaking day to make sure that I don't touch these poisons that he deliberately brings here, knowing that I'm on a path to health and wellness. And he makes sure he bring a lot of alcohol and bread, all this bread, white bread, knowing that I don't eat white bread, seeing the bread I buy when I don't often buy bread, but when I do, I don't buy white bread. I don't eat white bread, white sugar, white flour. He knows that. So he brings all and greasy things, oily things, samosas fried, and just a bunch of shit. This guy loves to bring roti with the white roti skin that is just, it's like sponge, and it's a high gluten content that is very bad for me. That's what he brings. So black males don't want the best for us. They don't. It's all about them and their gratification, their enjoyment. They just want to have sex, hit and run. But I've been valued. I know my value, and I don't need to deal with or fraternize with the black males of today who were raised, or perhaps not raised, by parents who didn't know better and didn't do better. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, or not. It's all good. I'm Domina Della Pie, Mistress Sasha Storm. Let me see. My Jamaica neighbor. Look at that, eh? His plants, his garden is so beautiful. My garden is a mess, really. I don't care. But his garden is so lush. Everything is so... He does it properly. He does stakes his plants so they grow tall and high, and I just let my plants lean. If they're leaning too much because they are laden with fruit and heavy, then I will finally tie it up somewhere somehow. But I'm not really that orderly. I'm just more into the experience, and that's why I need an assistant, a helper, a companion in the garden who will take care of those little details that I overlook. I got a lot to do. I got to wake up, come early in the morning, which is the best time. It's now late though. It's 8 o'clock right on the dot. I was here from 7. It's so nice out here. Cool. It's cool. So you can water the plants. Because usually when I wait a little later, I'm sweating, and I hate to sweat. I hate sweating. Ugh. So it's nice and cool. I'm even wearing a hoodie and tights. I'm wearing long tights so that I don't get bitten by these mosquitoes. I'm really upset about how our thyme bush kind of died. Well, one side we have 2 big patches. One patch kind of, I don't know what happened to it. And then I try to grow green onions in that patch, and these friggin' squirrels keep digging my stuff up. They try to dig up my blueberry bush. So I placed a bunch of orange peels around the base of the plant, and that seems to have been a deterrent. Now you got to learn when you're out here. It's a war. It's always a war, a battle that is never ending. I feel good. I feel happy. I'm giving thanks and praise to God, the Most High, because I see people, my so-called, they're not my friends, but they're in a friends list on my social media. These people don't even fraternize with me, right? Except when they want to ask for money for this. Oh, I'll do you some spells. I'll do you some spell work. If you send me this amount of money, 44, 44, 24, 24. They come up with these number sequences. Please, all day long I see number sequences, and this has been going on for months. Every single time I look at the clock, it's on a sequence. You know what I mean? So I woke up this morning and I saw the message. It says, "You win." And that's all I needed to do. I came outside. I give thanks and praise to God. Good day.